1st of September 1944. It's the anniversary of the date 5 years before where Germany invaded Poland. And certainly some of the troops and civilians here in Warsaw would have remembered that date. 2 days later, Britain and France declared war on Germany, and Polish crowds turned out in their thousands to thank them in anticipation of the help that would come. Now, 5 years later, Poland, the first to fight, is in a bitter struggle for the heart of its capital. The uprising had been planned to just last a few days, maybe maximum a week before the Russians would arrive. And although Poland was one of the first to fight, it would be one of the last to enjoy freedom. Poland wasn't free in 1945. It was free 45 years later, when the communist government that had been imposed on Poland by Stalin was finally overthrown and replaced with a democratic republic. It was also on this day in 1944 that the Germans finally recognised the Home Army soldiers as Allied combatants. Up until then, they'd been treated as partisans, terrorists, almost certain to be shot on the spot if they were captured or surrendered. This changes the nature of the discussions that the Polish commanders are having with the Germans. Up until now, there's been almost no point in surrendering because they knew that they would be killed anyway. Discussions would carry on throughout September until the Warsaw Uprising would end. In the early hours of the 1st of September, some of the troops who hadn't been able to make it out through the sewers pull off perhaps what's one of the most daring moments of the entire Warsaw Uprising. Dressed head to toe in stolen German uniforms, 60 of them who'd been hiding in a church walk through the German positions, exactly where we are now in the Saxon Gardens, and they're trying to walk as nonchalantly as possible. Stanisław Lekmirowicz is at the front of the column when it's finally challenged by a German sentry. "Halt!" he says. "Who are you? What have you been doing?" And the Pole who speaks the best German replies that they've been out killing Poles. They fall into conversation as the troops wait. And as you can probably imagine, it must have been a very tense moment. Eventually, the German sentry allows them to pass through, and the Polish commander, Andrzej Domocki, codename Moro, shouts to his troops in theatrical fashion, "Move on up, let's go, let's go, let's go." One of the soldiers next to him claims he deserved an Oscar for the role. Thanks for watching this episode of 63 Days of Extraordinary Courage. In tomorrow's episode, you'll find out what happens to those people who are left in the old town. Don't forget to tune in for tomorrow's episode at 5 p.m. Warsaw time, 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, and search for the hashtag 63days.